Here to give us a few words on cities as peace builders and human rights at the local level. It is my honor to introduce to you one of the hosts today, the Mayor of Reykjavík, Heiða Björg Hilmisdóttir.
Thank you, Pia, and congratulations on this good day. I know you have been working here the whole day, and we are, of course, proud to be a part of that, even though we have been in many places today, like all days. But distinguished guests and friends, it's always important to talk about peace. It's, of course, my honor to welcome you to Reykjavik, maybe a little bit late, because you have been here 2 days at least. But we gather here under the theme, Protecting Rights, Defending Peace. And that is, of course, always important, but really, really important. And I know you have been talking about this now, and there are many meetings also happening that are not happening here. We, Reykjavik, we are really proud to be the home of this discussion and this Peace Center and be a part of this cooperation with the University of Iceland. It was here in this city that there was a famous summit. Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev met here for a summit in the beginning when they started. Even though they didn't get a treaty at that time, they started a discussion. And they sat down and they talked to each other. During the Cold War, we thought no one would ever talk because it was the Cold War for all of us who lived that time. But the dialogue started, and it resulted in we think, and the history says that, yeah, the possibility of disarmament was like, it was lightened, and of course. And we thought maybe then that everything would then get better and better and better and better. But we were really proud to be a home for this, and Höfði remains this symbol of reconciliation. It's of course a small house, it's a small city, but we see that even though we are a small city, then we can act on the global scale, and we can act for peace on a global scale. And for us in Reykjavik, peace is not like an abstract idea or a distant goal. We are always working for peace in everything we do. At the local level, where people meet, where people live, that is the place where you have to work for peace. Like all these small structures, small like democratic procedures, safety in the streets, safety that you get your education, that you feel that you have affordable housing, access to schools, you know, this reliable public service if you need, when you need it, and that you can have this free speech, and you can see culture and do whatever makes you bigger. That is, I think, what the municipalities, what the cities are doing for peace, and that is something that we take really, really seriously. This is important when a child walks to school with confidence, knows that it's safe and nothing will happen, and when a family can count on getting a good housing, when all residents feel that their voices matter in the shaping of the community. These are not only social policies, they are also acts of peace. And we also understood this peace as a sanctuary. Our city is a proud member of ICRON. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's International Cities for Refugee Network. So we have been making a safe haven for writers who, and journalists and artists who need a space, safe space to work. By giving them this free space and free space to create freely. We have not only been protecting these individuals, we've also been cooperating. We have been defending their freedom and taking part in something new that is happening. And that is so important. And I guess you all saw yesterday the peace artwork in Viðey, the Imagine Tower, which was created by Yoko Ono in memory of her husband, John Lennon. It would like to do yesterday, the day he would have turned 85 years old if he had lived. It is tall, it lights the sky, and sometimes you can see it through the skies. We have, and I think it's important, and you can watch it all over from all over the world because it's on stream. And I know many people are watching it. I know Yoko Ono was watching it yesterday because we got the message. She could see it even though the weather was not good and we didn't get to go there. But there we are using the geothermal energy. The tower is like connecting this sustainability with hope. And we have now this, they have gathered many millions of wishes for peace. And we are working with them on how we can strengthen that and be more like the home for peace, home for wishes. So for us, we want everyone to remember that peace is not a dream. It's not like anything that is far away and impossible. If we all would imagine peace, if we all would act for peace, work for peace, it is absolutely possible. Because it's our grounding rights, and I think most of us are absolutely agreed that this is something that is important for us, and that everything of this starts locally. So we have believed this, and we have been working on this. We are working now on better housing for all our citizens. The current majority of the municipality now, we have been working actively on that, especially affordable housing. And we think just equality is a human right. And in more equal societies, there is more peace. That is just scientifically proven. Also, there's that in Iceland, me and many other women, we can take part in the society, and that is not given everywhere. But we think that we are showing that also to the world, that we can absolutely work as men, even though we have children, and men can also take paternity leave, and we can have daycare, and we can do it, and it is also a structure for peace. Because when you feel that you are growing and you can make your dreams come true, that is a good place to live in. I grew up, of course, with role models like Vigdís Finnbogadóttir. I was 9 years old when she was the first elected head of state. It was magnificent. I can tell you all. It was like a victory for us all the girls in Iceland. And I think she has been such a role model for all of us. And we all can be role models if we stand up and be what we want to be. Because nothing is permanent. And I mean, it's a short time that we have been participating like equals in the society. It's not a long time. I mean, I know personally the first president and the prime minister, and it's sometimes scary how short it is. And we have to work on it. All rights we get, nothing is for granted. So we know that words matter. Words are not all that matters, but they still matter. And we cannot be silent when we see something that is unfair. Because if we just stay silent, our rights can roll back and we can lose them again. And that is something that we will never let happen if we all have our focus on it. And that is why cities must remain vigilant. We must be awake, we must be working for this. And we are, because our work is not only protecting human rights, but we also have to act. If there is a threat, we have to secure the water, we have to secure the housing, we have to to take care of those who are disabled, we have to, so much of this is in our responsibility. I sometimes get this question, why is Reykjavik a part of Höfði Peace House? Why are we working for peace? And that is because peace starts at local level, and also, like we have been seeing in Ukraine and other countries where they have now war, the municipalities are those who are like standing, and the last one that goes is often the mayor. So we now support young people, migrants and marginalized groups to have a say in the shaping of the city. I had this meeting this morning with a lot of builders of how we can make this more even and build more for affordable housing and more service into the neighborhoods. And all cities are making this more or less around the world. And those who are not, we are trying to get them with us. So we are also working together as cities to make the world a better place, especially now when some of our prime ministers and governments are maybe more focusing on defense and weapons. Because we never use weapons, and we always use words, and we always use dialogue. It's sometimes said that when national governments hesitate, cities act. And we want to be a city like that. And when international negotiations stall, we can act, and we can act for peace. And that even though we are not large, we are here, and we take our responsibility seriously. We are participating in many sister networks now, and I hope you all see the light from Viðey, and you all feel the song that it was written about. This, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Because if we are many who dream of peace, we can have peace. And if you are many who work for peace, we can get peace. And we take this to our heart, and we are like really proud to be this home for this. And I think that if we all let us dream, I know you have been working and talking today about really, really difficult situations and what is happening in the world. And you may think I'm naive to say this, but I really believe in it. And I've been working with many cities who are actually also seeing this the same way. So, on behalf of the city of Reykjavik, I just want to thank you all for joining here. I want to thank you all for taking part in this, for taking your time. Time is everything we own, and to take your time to act for peace and sit in conferences like this and talk to others about how we can do the world a better place. That is actually, this makes our investment in this project even better, and this also makes, we see that this is the right way to go. So thank you so much for inviting me, and I see there are many young people here who will, I hope, live peace in the world. Thank you. Now I have another project that is not worse. And now I'm going to speak a little bit Icelandic because this is important for the children here. And I said peace is something they act for in every level, and this is the third time that we have this competition. So, krakkar, verið velkomin, og fyrirgefi ég talaði bara ensku, en ég var svona að tala hvað mikilvægt að borgin okkar sé að vinna fyrir frið, og við erum að vinna með mörgum borgum að því að skapa frið, og leita eftir því hvað fólki finnst mikilvægt til þess að friður geti ríkt. Og ég var að skoða myndirnar ykkar, og það eru mjög ólíkar, sumum öðrum sem að koma, þar sem að þessi samkeppni líka. Og það sýnir svolítið að það geti verið gaman að bera það stundum saman, mismunandi lönd og mismunandi, hvernig maður sér frið fyrir sér. Og þið voruð, each member city can select up to 5 pieces, each for category 1, 6 to 10 ára, 6 to 10 years. You can read this, of course, and category 2, 11 to 15 years old. And we are participating for the third time, and that we are proud of that. And we received totally 59 artworks. Við erum að taka þátt í 3. skipti í þessari keppni. Ég hef líka séð myndir frá öðrum löndum og bara, þetta er mjög skemmtilegt og því stóðu getur ekki smá vel. Við fengum sem sagt 59 myndir. Ég var bara að klappa fyrir því, við fengum 59 myndir. Þetta voru 7 skólar í Reykjavík sem við þökkum kærlega fyrir þáttökuna. Þetta fólkið sem var í dómnefnd og fekk að velja úr. Ég fegin að ég var ekki þar. Mér finnst rosa erfitt að velja úr svona. En þau vildu sérstaklega, ég myndi lesa hérna fyrir ykkur sem að tóku þátt. Þau vilja þakka ykkur öllum hæfileikaríku listamönnum sem senduðu inn mynd. Listaverkin voru svar við spurningunni hvað er friður fyrir mér? Og það var ánægilegt að sjá hversu fjölbreytt viðfangsefni verkanna voru, til dæmis nemendur að læra stærðfræði. Það getur verið friður. Fagurt landslag, algjörlega. Óhlutbundin litadýrð, fótboltaleikur og alls konar sem er friður fyrir börnunum í Reykjavík. Og val dómnefndarinnar var erfitt, þau segja það líka hérna, ég trúi því, sko. En þau verk sem hér eru og fá tilnefningu eiga það sameiginlegt að vera frumleg, búa yfir miklu listfengi í litavali og útfærslu og fjalla á ólíkan hátt friðar hugmyndina. Eru þið tilbúin að vita hverjir þetta eru? Hilda, þú ætlar að hjálpa mér. Þú ert með réttu harpa. Þú ert með réttu umslögin fyrir hvert barn, svo ég fyrir ekki að gefa eitthvað vitlaus umslög með einhverju vitlausu nafni. Líka að byrja að staldra við. Já. Það verður tekin einn mynd, einstaklingsmynd, og svo aftur í sæti og svo tökum við hópin. Já, ég geri það. Já. Algjörlega. Ekki fara þegar þið eru búin að fá verkið, þegar við viljum taka margar myndir af okkur. Algjörlega. En við byrjum þá í fyrstu kategoríunni, fyrsta hópnum. Það eru 6 til 10 ára og það Sara Mist Sindradóttir. Hún hér í Foldaskóla? Viltu koma og fá svona verðlaun frá okkur? Borgarstjórinn var þetta fólk. Og næsti vinningshafi Stefán Helgi Helgason sem líka í 3. bekk í Foldaskóla. Theodór Ás Heiðarsson, 3. bekk í Grandaskóla. Fyrir þessa leikriku og fallega með. Já, ég kann við hennan appelsínugula fugl, ég væri til að hafa nokkra svona. Það væri myndi hressa vilur upp á. Nú kemur regnboginn, Valentína Can We Ho. Vonaði þessi rétt við mér, 3. bekk Foldaskóla. Þú mátt leiða þetta mig ef þetta ekki rétt skammið. Tindur Atlason í 3. bekk Grandaskóla. Svona fullorðna fólkið. Það sér ekki alltaf. En hún samt líka svolítið flott. Svolítið flott svona líka. Þá fyrir við í næsta hóp sem hópur nummer 2. Það eru 11 til 15 ára. Og þar Evelyn Auður Atladóttir í 8. bekk í Víkurskóla. Og hún hér. Hérna sjáum við stjörnur í kringum hnöttinn, sjáum við bara brosandi fiska og blóm og býflugur. Þetta svo hæfileikaríkir krakka hérna. Hákon Jansson í 9. bekk í Víkurskóla, hann gerði þessa frábæru mynd. Hún sýnir bæði það sem fyrir ofan jörðina og fyrir neðan. Ræturnar. Eftir hérna. Maja Kjallæs í 9. bekk í Foldaskóla. Það sjáu þið. Friðar Dóan efst, þetta bara eins og eitthvað svona, einhver póster fyrir eitthvað magna. Mohammad M.H. Albayok, þú hér einhvers staðar? Þarna ertu í móttökudeild Seljalandsskóla. Og Þórdís Erla Þórðardóttir í 9. bekk í Víkurskóla. Það var gaman ef að skíin var stundu svona. Frábært. Þá eru allir vinningshafarnir komnir og þá þakka ég bara fyrir mig og aftur til hamingju krakkar, þið eru frábær.